How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and I'm really excited to bring you guys this video today. Yes, as you guys see by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be talking about the season schedule that just came out for the 2025-26 season for the men's basketball team. Something I've been hyping up for a while that I've been really excited to talk about. There are 30 games, 20 conference games, 15 home matchups. Really excited to get into it today and just talk to you guys about it. So we do open the season up with two Division II opponents at home. Not sure if we've ever started the game or started the season off with two straight Division II opponents. A lot of times it'll be the first game and then, we'll play, some non-D1 schools later in the year. First game's against Adams State. They're a Colorado school, Division II level. Last year, I believe they finished just under 500. I know a lot of guys from New Mexico get recruited to go play there as well, since it's just one state over. Also, a lot of guys from Colorado, maybe even from Texas too. So they get a lot of local talent. They're not like a horrible team by any means, but obviously they're a Division II school, so a team that we should be able to beat by a lot of points. Follow that up with New Mexico Highlands, which is a school we have never lost to, so knock on wood. Obviously, I don't want this to be the year that happens. We play against two Division II opponents to start the year, like I said, and we play against UNM right after. So we should be 2-0 going into that game, which is nice, but at the same time, it's kind of, sucks we don't have a true test. And that's no discredit to those teams. Again, they're not bad teams. It's just, they're teams that we're supposed to beat, right? And UNM, I think they play against a handful of Division I teams and a handful of good Division I teams. Again, it's just hard for Coach Hoon to get a whole lot of great competitive schools at home, especially. I know he's going to get slack for that, but that's not his fault. So a lot of teams don't want to schedule, against us. Maybe they don't think they're going to be able to win, or against, bigger schools and stuff as well. They can't afford to take a loss against a, non-Power 4 school that early in the season, non-conference play. Especially in the Big 12, we get, see all those teams, they always start the year off like 12-1. They're on a loss coming to a big boy school on the road or something. That's just how it works in college basketball. Our first 4 games are actually at home, and again, I'm not sure if that's ever been done. I'm sure it's happened in the past, but I'm not sure how long it's been. We've had years where a lot of our games are at home to start the year, but I don't think we've ever had 4 straight to start, at least not since I've been here going to school or been a fan. Sanford will be the first game of that Cancun Challenge, and then we'll obviously go to the Cancun Challenge after that. Something I found weird is that we do play against Tulsa in Texas. We'll obviously play Abilene Christian in Texas as well. And then we play against another school, I can't remember who it is on the top of my head. We play them all in Texas, and it's weird obviously because Tulsa's not in Texas. So I'm not sure why that is. I tried talking to some people that work for the media relations for the basketball team, and they said they didn't even know yet. And they said to let me know. They actually keep up the YouTube page, so they said to let me know so I can give you guys more information on that. South Alabama is the other school that we played a neutral site in Texas. Again, not sure why that's the case, but another solid team, I believe, that will be a good matchup for us. Again, there's no Power 4 teams on the schedule, and I was pretty sure that's how it was going to be, so not surprised at all. There's only 30 games. Again, you can play up to 31. It's not like that's mandatory to do, but that's the max you can play. And again, that's has a chance to change to 32, which is so hard for Coach Hoon to get those games on the schedule. I know he had 28 guaranteed, so I think he just threw those other 2 in there, Tulsa and South Alabama. And I guess they couldn't just agree to a home and home or something, so that's where they decided to go with. I'm pretty sure those are the 2 games that weren't scheduled. I may or may not be doing an interview with Coach Hoon. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get done on the YouTube channel. It'll be more of an interview with him for Crimson Wire, which is the student-run newspaper here for the school. If I'm going to get any video on that, maybe I'll try. We'll see, get some cameras set up. If not, I'll at least let you guys know how it goes. Or I might always play a recording in some of the video. Y'all can see how that goes. I'm going to read the story about it up on Crimson Wire, which you guys should go check out on our social media pages as well. I always say go follow NM State MBB News on Twitter and Instagram, but do the same with Crimson Wire and MSU. That'd be greatly appreciated. We talked about it in a couple recent videos, but obviously we play UC Irvine as well in the Cancun Challenge. It's a team that the Aggies are pretty familiar with playing. Obviously it's 2 new teams and stuff, but we've had a good history with them, especially with those Teddy Allen teams and some really good teams. We'd be able to play them along and get some wins. Past couple years haven't been able to do it as much, so hopefully we can get back on the winning side of things with that matchup. Not going to go through all the teams that we play because obviously you guys know our conference opponents. Most of them will play twice, maybe only once. Some more teams and stuff play 20 conference games this year. We do play against Georgia State, so that'll be a good matchup for us. And then we also play against University of the Southwest. That's our 3rd non-D1 opponent. And I believe those are the only 3 games that we play that are against non-D1 teams. And again, I expected it to be about 3. I think there's been a couple years we've had 4. For the most part, it's usually at least 3 and not more than that. So again, University of Southwest. Something that is a little bit different is that we play against Sam Houston on December 21st. That's our first conference game. The past couple years, it's always been like, we'll have our non-conference and then all conference games after that. There's nothing in between, no alliances. But we do play against Sam Houston. And then we play against University of Southwest, and then it's all our conference games from there. It's just how the schedule worked out. So a little bit different than usual. But overall, I think we have a solid schedule. And again, it's not a super tough schedule. I'm pretty sure we're probably right in the middle of strength of schedule. With the talent we have on this team, I'd be very surprised if they don't get 20 wins. The biggest thing is staying healthy, obviously. Again, I was talking to this guy, Lawrence Thomas, who works for the Aggies, specifically with the basketball team for media relations. And he was telling me that Elijah is a lot more healthy. Same with Mims. So really looking forward to that. He was telling me that Jamel's obviously going to start. He's pretty positive that Elijah would start. He said Mims is a guy that can start as well as Kyrese, and Sear Malonga will probably be the go-to center. So kind of like what I've been predicting and stuff. Again, things are bound to change, and nothing's guaranteed, right? And Coach, I'm sure he's going to change the lineups in some exhibitions or some real games. That's another thing too. I was talking to Lawrence, and he says that they're going to have some secret scrimmages. One that might be at home. I thought I saw something too that they might be playing against some like Mexican basketball team, kind of like what the baseball team has done recently, playing against pro teams, but. When I saw that, I think it was like something that was in Mexico, and I don't even remember where I saw it. I haven't seen the official post about it up from the team. I don't know where I saw it, to be honest with you. So I'll give you guys more confirmation on if that's true or not. Obviously, I don't want to be spreading false rumors. That's just what I heard. Some of the games I'm most looking forward to, along with you guys, obviously the UNM game, especially being at home. UNM's picked to finish around the middle of, Conference USA, middle of Mountain West, their conference, and then we're predicted to finish more at the top of Conference USA. Obviously, Mountain West is a little bit more competitive, a little bit more talented, but Conference USA is not far off, in my opinion. It's definitely getting better. Anything can happen in rival games. I think we have a better chance at winning this game other than the football game. Football game was very winnable too. If you guys watched that game, there was a lot of chances we had to win the game. Our quarterback, Logan Fife, just got sacked a lot, and part of that's on the O-line. Part of that's not him maybe throwing it out. But he played really, really well against Sam Houston. Probably his best game of the season. Probably the best game the Aggies have played in Coach Sanchez era. I know this is a basketball channel, not about football. But again, it's Monday, and I did go to the press conference earlier today. I was able to ask 2 questions this time. One to Logan, one to Coach. So you guys go check that out on the NM State Athletics YouTube page. I asked a question at the 4:53 mark and the 8:18 mark. So we greatly appreciate for you guys to go check that out to support the Athletics and myself. There's going to be a lot of good teams in Conference USA. Liberty's always going to be one of them. I'm excited to play against both Kennesaw State and FIU. Kennesaw State's going to be really good. Not sure how good FIU is going to be. They haven't been that great the past couple of years. But obviously, FIU now has Zoggy Jackson, former Aggie. Kennesaw State has Jaden Harris. Something I was talking about with Lawrence as well, maybe I'll ask Coach Hood in the interview, is kind of the reactions, as to, them leaving for another conference opponent. And when I was talking to Lawrence about it, he was saying that, it was kind of like, hey, just stay here, man. Might as well, right? You're still in Conference USA and all that. But, he also said that he thinks that they fill those roles pretty well, and they have a lot of great guards, as you guys know. I was talking about Anthony coming off the bench, being in Coach Hood's system before. He said he just knows the system very well, and that he thinks he's going to play a lot, maybe come off the bench or something, and he's going to have a really good role with the team. He can shoot the 3-ball really well, might be one of our better shooters. But, even if we have guys who can't shoot the ball as well, we still have a lot of guys that can score in the paint, with Julius Mims being one of them. Jamel can, do it all, fast as the floor. Lawrence was telling me that he's been doing great overall. Today's Gabe Pickens' birthday. I was talking to Lawrence again, I mentioned him a lot. Maybe he's watching this video. Shout out to you if you are, because again, he said he watched one of them. Didn't know I ran the account and stuff, so that's pretty cool. But Gabe and Jacoby, they're both guys who are returning that will get a lot of big minutes as well, as I mentioned in the past. And the good thing about those guys is there's no pressure on them to really score the ball at a high level. I mean, last year they both averaged just under 3 points, and you look at that like, oh, how effective were they? But if you watch the games, you see how effective they were. Gabe Pickens is a great playmaker, along with Elijah Elliott, but he's more of a scorer, which is why I don't think Gabe will need to be as much of a scorer, because he gets it done on the defensive end as well, just like Jacoby. They're almost the same player in a way, except Gabe's obviously a little bit more of a playmaker than Jacoby is, and a little bit better of a shooter. Jacoby's working on his shot a lot as well, which is great. Both those guys and Anthony, even though they're not as skilled as some of the other guys, they're still going to get a lot of PT just because they played under Coach Hood's system before and know it very well. I think I mentioned a couple videos ago, for some reason I thought we were going to have 16 home games, but 15 is still really good. Only that sucks about it, like I said, the first 4 are at home, and then the next one's right during Christmas break that I should be able to go to. Or actually, I don't know if I'll be able to go to that. I think I'll be able to go to the first 4 for sure, because the one of those during Thanksgiving break I'll be able to go to. The next home game, I don't believe it's till December 21st, so it's a whole month off. And then a lot of them are during Christmas break, where not a lot of students will be able to go. A lot of older fans will be able to go. So it'll be a 2-month break where the student section is not super, super packed. But I think with how skilled this team is, I don't think we'll really need a student section to get big wins. I think first year I was here, which none of the players are from that team anymore, they kind of needed that a lot. Now, I know the crowd's like the 6-man and stuff, but I think a lot of the older fans will be there to support like always. I feel like I should have a chance to help out with some of the games as well, whether it's before Christmas break or after, with the media relations, help keep the stats and work for the team. So that's going to be really fun too. If you go to the Ag games, you might see me there on the sidelines helping out. It'll be cool because obviously I'm always in the student section, so I just get that view. But being right there on the court pretty much would be really dope. And I've talked to Michael, who's the SID here, and he was telling me how seeing Coach Hood go crazy during the games is awesome, seeing his spirit and how great of a coach he is. And just being right by the sidelines, you get to see, it'll be nice because a lot of times you see Coach yelling at one of the guys, and you can kind of assume what he's probably talking about if you see him making a mistake on the court and what specifically it is. But being right there would be awesome. Maybe I can try to sneak a video, get it here on for you guys. Assuming Coach Hood is okay with me doing that, I'll have to talk to him. Actually, funny story. Well, not really a story. Obviously, New Mexico State has a new AD, Joe Fields, and I went to the press conference. I was able to get in, which was nice. I saw Coach Hood in there, and I kind of looked over at him to see if he would notice me. He didn't at first, and once I got up, he looked right at me. So maybe he was ready, and he kind of smiled and asked how I was doing and stuff. Because as you guys know, I interviewed him a couple years ago, and I might have the chance to interview him pretty soon, maybe this week. So we'll see how that goes. I know this video is mainly about the schedule, but I'm going to close it out talking about some of the players from last year's team who are playing overseas now. Like I've done recently, Robin Carpenter had a really good game last game. He had 13 points, had a dunk to cap off the win. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you'll see that. I did very well, collaborated with BC Luella, which is the team he plays for. And again, I've been doing a lot of collaborative posts with them, which is great. Peter Volopovich had an amazing game as well. I believe he had a little over 20 points. I'll make a post about that today or tomorrow, whenever I can, whenever I have time, get that up as well. And just continue to let you guys know how they're both doing overseas. I still haven't found any news about Christian Cook and like when their season starts and stuff. Maybe it's already started. I just haven't been able to find a whole lot of information. But when I do, and if I do, definitely let you guys know. Hopefully I do. I don't want to just say if. I hopefully will find it. Deontay Bostic in his last game had 7 points in 26 minutes. Not terrible, but did have 4 turnovers, which Peter in his first game had 5. Then didn't have any this last game. Deontay didn't have any his first game. Then had 4 this past game. You know, they're just getting adjusted to the professional basketball playing style. I'm sure those numbers will go down. Rob Carpenter, again, I was talking about this with Lawrence again. I keep mentioning him. Rob is, not the type of guy to get a lot of assists. Like I said, he had an assist in that one game. He had 19 points. Not sure how many assists he had this last game. That's not really his role. Deontay's role is to get assists, and he's been doing that. Had about 4 last game. Had some good steals. Same with Peter. But Rob's the guy that, when they set a play for him, he's going to take that shot. Call him Big Shot Rob for a reason, right? I don't think there's anything else for me to talk about. Mainly just the schedule, kind of updating you guys on some of the overseas players and what they're doing now. Guys like obviously, Teddy Allen, Serge Bright Rice. We talked about Evan Gilliard. The third is the guy we talk about a lot, or the second, I mean. Those are guys all have chances to, still make the NBA, even though they're getting up there in age a little bit. They're not like old, but maybe old for a rookie. Which, speaking of the NBA, just kind of a fun fact. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but LeBron announced something that he's going to have a decision tomorrow. He had that whole thing like years ago before I was even watching the NBA. The decision when he decided to go from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Miami Heat, ended up winning 2 championships there. Went back to the Cavs, won one with the Lakers. Now he's making his second decision tomorrow. A lot of people think it might be a retirement. He'd probably still play this year, but announce his retirement and have a retirement run, I guess you could say, or maybe something completely different. I don't know. I do think that MJ is the GOAT though, but LeBron's still a great player, still second in my opinion. And I feel like he's proven everything he needs to be to at least earn that second spot or at least earn a conversation to GOAT. I just don't think he is the GOAT, but again, he's still second in my opinion. Still a great player overall. That's a debate for another day. This is an Aggie basketball channel. I made a joke with my friends. I was like, maybe he'll say something like, I'm taking my talents to the New Mexico State Aggies with 5 years of eligibility. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but I thought it'd be kind of funny to make a joke about that. That's going to close it out for the video today. Really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out.